GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good morning, Montreal. I'm Lauren Dupuis. Today we're highlighting a non-profit delivering cooling kits in park extension as the heat wave pushes ERs past capacity and a thunderstorm warning with a rare yellow sun on the horizon. Traffic is light, aside from some construction delays. Over to you, Ryan.
Substitute Chloe Minas secured a late penalty kick, delivering all 3 points for Montreal in Northern Super League action.
That goal ensured Montreal finished the match unbeaten, extending their unbeaten streak to 5 games this season.
Coach confirmed Minas will start upcoming fixtures, citing her composure under pressure as vital for the team's success.
All right, let's get into it. Top headlines include the new transition housing opening for homeless women in Montreal. Good morning, Montreal. Police announced yesterday that they have taken 2 20-year-old men into custody over a string of recent anti-Semitic attacks. The arrests were made after investigators linked the suspects to incidents that targeted members of the Jewish community earlier this month. Authorities said the men were detained in the downtown area and are being questioned about vandalism, threats, and a recent assault on a local synagogue visitor. The police chief emphasized that the operation reflects a coordinated effort to address hate-motivated crimes and protect vulnerable residents. No charges have been filed yet, but the suspects remain in police custody pending further investigation. Community leaders have called for heightened vigilance as the city continues to confront a wave of anti-Semitic incidents. The Quebec Provincial Police are assisting the investigation, and liaison officers have been assigned to work closely with local Jewish organizations.
Former nurse and internet comedy star John de la Cruz, known as Nurse John, is set to headline 2 performances at the Just for Laughs Festival on July 24. The shows will take place at the historic Salle Wilfrid Pelletier, one of the festival's main venues. CBC Montreal News reported that the comedian, who rose to fame with medical-themed sketches online, will open the evening slots, with fellow organizer Deborah Arbeck confirming the lineup. Festival organizers say the dates were added after strong demand from fans across the province. Attendees can expect a blend of quick-witted hospital anecdotes and the sharp observational humor that made Nurse John a household name. Tickets are on sale now, and the performances are expected to draw crowds eager to see the nurse-turned-comedian bring his bedside banter to the big stage.
From the streets of Miami to a mentor's podium in the island, Sven's Telemak is turning a turbulent past into hope for at-risk youth. After a court cleared him of a gun charge, the former dealer left Florida and settled in the city earlier this year. He now writes, performs spoken word pieces, and runs mentorship circles under the CBC Black Changemakers banner. Telemak says his own brushes with the law give him a rare perspective that resonates with teens who feel trapped by similar choices. The program, based in the Plateau Mont-Royal, pairs the artist with schools and community centers, offering workshops on self-expression, conflict resolution, and career planning. Participants credit the sessions with a renewed sense of direction, and Telemak plans to expand the model to other boroughs before the end of 2026.
Transition housing for women experiencing homelessness opened today, a new effort led by the Mission Old Brewery organization. The facility provides a set of dedicated units on the island, each paired with on-site counseling, job training, and health services aimed at moving residents from the streets into stable living conditions. City officials said the addition expands Montreal's broader homelessness strategy, which has focused on creating gender-specific safe spaces after a rise in women sleeping rough last winter. Mission Old Brewery will manage day-to-day operations and coordinate with local health clinics, employment agencies, and the Municipal Housing Office. The initiative is expected to serve dozens of women in its first year, offering a pathway toward permanent housing and long-term self-sufficiency. Advocates praise the move as a critical step toward addressing the unique challenges faced by homeless women.
CF Montreal stepped back onto the pitch yesterday, ending a 3-week pause in its MLS schedule with a showdown against Toronto FC at Stade Saputo. The match marked the club's first competitive appearance since early June, when the league's calendar gave the team a lengthy intermission. Players arrived eager to shake off the rust, and coach emphasized the need to regain rhythm as the season pushes forward. Toronto FC entered the game with momentum from recent victories, while the home side looked to reignite its own campaign. Early pressure from the visitors forced the hosts to adjust, but the atmosphere was buoyant, with fans filling the stands after a quiet stretch. The result will set the tone for the weeks ahead as both clubs chase playoff positions. Local supporters hope the win will spark a surge in confidence for the remainder of the campaign. Later we'll break down how Quebec's tax cut on groceries and hygiene items could affect your wallet. Plus other headlines. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's dive into today's headlines, then Ryan will guide us through the local stories you need to hear.
An exciting new exhibit opened today on Parc Jean Drapeau, celebrating the life of Zhel Villeneuve. The show brings together family photos, race day souvenirs, and never-before-seen film of the Quebec-born driver who vaulted from local circuits to Formula One stardom. Visitors can walk through a timeline that traces his humble beginnings in the province's club tracks, his daring victories in the 70s, and the legacy he left for today's racers. The exhibit also features interactive stations where kids can test their reflexes on a simulated steering wheel, a nod to the way many Montreal families spend weekend afternoons watching motorsport on television. With the city's love of outdoor festivals, the open-air setting offers a pleasant spot for a stroll after a bike ride or a picnic, turning a quick cultural stop into a family-friendly outing.
Yesterday, the Quebec government announced that the provincial sales tax on a list of grocery and personal care products has been eliminated. The tax exemption covers items such as fresh fruits, vegetables, dairy, bread, as well as soaps, shampoos, and toothpaste. The move follows a broader effort to ease the cost of everyday essentials for households. Officials said the change will take effect immediately, meaning shoppers will see lower prices at checkout without having to wait for a new fiscal year. The province's standard tax normally applies to most consumer goods, so this targeted relief applies only to the designated foodstuffs and hygiene items. Retailers have been instructed to adjust their registers accordingly, and the government plans to monitor the impact on consumer spending in the coming months. Families shopping for their weekly groceries reported noticing the difference right away.
Yesterday, the governments of Quebec and Alberta signed a joint agreement to bring artificial intelligence into their public service operations. The deal, sealed by Quebec's Minister of Cybersecurity, aims to merge the two provinces' AI expertise and develop new digital tools for everything from processing permits to managing health care appointments. Officials say the partnership builds on earlier online initiatives that already let residents file forms and track benefits online. By pooling research teams and shared data platforms, the provinces hope to speed up routine paperwork, reduce errors, and free up staff for more personal assistance. For everyday citizens, the move could mean faster responses when applying for licenses, smoother access to social programs, and more reliable online portals. The collaboration is set to roll out pilot projects over the coming months, with both governments monitoring results closely.
Quebec's health ministry has approved a $670 million investment to expand Charles Lemoyne Hospital in Longueuil. The funding will support the construction of 6 additional floors atop the existing emergency wing, a move aimed at boosting patient capacity and modernizing services on the South Shore. Officials said the new levels will accommodate more acute care beds, diagnostic suites, and support spaces, addressing growing demand in the region. The project is slated to begin later this year, with construction crews expected to work through the next several years. Provincial leaders highlighted the expansion as a cornerstone of their broader strategy to reinforce hospital infrastructure across the province. Residents can anticipate a larger, more capable facility that will reduce pressure on nearby emergency departments and improve access to specialized care. The announcement arrives as health officials monitor rising wait times across the region.
Police officers from the Montreal Police Service executed a raid yesterday at a commercial property in the Beauport district, targeting a suspected drug trafficking operation. Officers entered the premises in the early afternoon, securing the site and detaining several individuals believed to be involved in the distribution network. Seized items included a variety of controlled substances, packaging materials and cash believed to be linked to the illegal trade. The raid forms part of an ongoing effort by the police to dismantle drug networks that have been active in the area. Officials said the operation aimed to disrupt the flow of narcotics and send a clear message to criminal groups operating in the neighborhood. No injuries were reported, and the investigation remains open as detectives continue to analyze the evidence gathered.
Now let's see what the skies have in store for us today.
A falling pressure ridge meets a swift western jet, priming Montreal for a warm, breezy afternoon. On this date, Montreal once burned to 33.7 degrees Celsius in 2018, a record set during a persistent heat dome that pushed daily highs well above the 22-degree normal. The cold counterpart fell to 10.4 degrees Celsius in 2015, when an Arctic blast slammed the city, far under the 15-degree average low. Today's climate normals sit around 22 for the high and 15 for the low, framing the current warmth. Turning to the live radar, the map is completely clear across southern Quebec. No rain bands or echoes appear, confirming a dry air mass moving westward under the fast jet. The falling pressure aloft signals an incoming system, but the moisture pocket has not yet arrived. Expect the first droplets, if any, to spill over the outskirts after sunset, leaving the city dry through the afternoon. At 7 a.m., Montreal sits at 18 degrees Celsius under a partly cloudy sky, humidity 81%, and a gentle northwest breeze at 12 kilometers per hour. The atmosphere is under near-average pressure that is falling, inviting the next system. Overhead, a powerful western jet streak racing at 211 kilometers per hour injects energy, keeping the air well mixed. Temperatures will climb steadily, reaching 29 degrees by midday, while clouds thin and sunshine dominates. The UV index holds at 6. Wind gusts will push up to 32 kilometers per hour from the west by mid-afternoon, feeling brisk. No precipitation is forecast, and there are no active alerts. Looking ahead, Thursday will be clear with a high of 25 and a low of 13, offering a sharp drop from today's warmth. Friday brings overcast skies, high 27 and low 13, as the lingering jet pushes a modest cloud deck across the region. Saturday shifts to a cooler pattern. Clouds thicken, and a light rain band brings an 80% chance of rain, holding temperatures near 23 with a low of 17. Sunday eases back to partly cloudy, 23 high and 16 low, and a modest 25% rain chance. Monday returns to overcast conditions, high 25 and low 16, capping the workweek with a steady, damp feel. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunrise is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
Up next, traffic updates on construction, a taste of the Vietnamese night market, and Mina's penalty win for the Roses. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Westbound traffic on the Claymont Bridge remains reduced as crews finish beam repairs, leaving a single lane open and causing slow-moving queues during the morning rush. Northbound travelers on the Papineau-Leblanc Bridge should also expect delays, with the bridge closed to northbound traffic through the night and a detour in place. The Louis-Hippolyte Lafontaine Tunnel is operating under contraflow, with the northbound tube shut and southbound traffic sharing the remaining lane. At the Descartes interchange, multiple lane closures for resurfacing are extending travel times on the Autoroute 15. Overpass reconstruction on Highway 520 forces detours and staggered flow near the Cavendish Boulevard crossing. The ONZHOO interchange linking the 25 to the 40 also sees southbound lane reductions. Elsewhere, most arterial roads are moving freely, and there are no transit delays to report. Expect the afternoon commute to stay steady, though construction will keep some corridors slower than usual.
Just for Laughs Festival continues today at Quartier des Spectacles, delivering stand-up sets and galas that will have you laughing on your commute. Tonight's headliner includes a surprise set from a comedy legend, so grab a seat early. Over 40 vendors are dishing out 150 street food creations at the Old Port, perfect for a quick bite before work. From Korean tacos to Belgian waffles, the flavors span continents, making the Old Port a foodie playground. Genre fans can catch the latest horror and sci-fi premieres with Canned A Sessions, a chance to see the next big cult classic. The festival also hosts a midnight marathon of cult classics, ideal for night owls seeking thrills. From free outdoor stages to intimate indoor shows, African, Caribbean, and Latin rhythms fill the city with energy. And looking ahead, the Montreal International Dragon Boat Challenge hits Parc Jean-Drapeau this weekend, a splash of competition you won't want to miss. And now here's Tyler with sports.
Montreal sports making moves on the pitch and on the schedule. The Montreal Roses picked up a crucial 3 points in Northern Super League play, edging the visiting Halifax Tides 1-0. Substitute Chloe Minas was the difference maker, converting from the penalty spot in the 77th minute to seal the victory on Sunday, according to CBC Sports Soccer. Mark your calendars, Habs fans. The Montreal Canadiens will open the 2026-27 NHL season on the road against the Toronto Maple Leafs on September 29th. The league has set up an all-Canadian opening night, with Edmonton also hosting Vancouver, per CBC Sports NHL. The Montreal Roses have bolstered their Northern Super League roster with 2 high-profile additions. The club announced the signings of Marie-Yasmine Aladou and Yves Paraset, both described as internationally experienced players. The moves signal serious ambition for the Roses going forward, according to CBC Sports Soccer.
MTY Food Group, based in downtown Montreal, is a major restaurant franchisor. Known for Thai Express, Mr. Sub, and Manchu Wok, it runs over 7,000 sites worldwide. In the coming 6 to 9 months, the company will close 68 underperforming outlets, citing lower profit and sales. By trimming those sites, MTY hopes to shore up its strongest locations and protect jobs that remain. For neighborhoods losing a familiar eat-in, the closures are a reminder that even big names must adapt to changing tastes. Yet MTY's decades-long presence has helped shape Montreal's culinary landscape, feeding families and tourists alike. Local diners will feel the loss, but the company says new concepts are in the pipeline to keep the downtown dining scene vibrant. And later, we'll celebrate the opening of new transition housing for homeless women in our city, a hopeful step forward for many.
Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From City Hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on GMna for the local sunset, Montreal's evening newscast.
In the early light of a Saturday market on Rue Saint-Denis, I watched a group of health sector volunteers share a coffee, their conversation punctuated by the soft chatter of shoppers and the occasional streetcar bell. Among them was a young nurse from the Quebec Health Ministry, laughing as she described her first week in the brand new offices on Chemin Saint-Foy. She told us that the modern, glass-walled building had a beautiful view of the river, but the open-plan layout turned everyday conversations into a constant hum that made focus feel like a distant memory. To turn that hum into harmony, the ministry has decided to install 8 soundproof booths, each a quiet cocoon of calm amid the bustling floor. One of the booths, painted a soft seafoam green, already holds a senior researcher who says the moment she stepped inside, the clatter of keyboards faded, and she could finally hear her own thoughts again. That simple space, they say, will become a sanctuary where ideas can grow without distraction. It's a small change that promises a big difference for the people who keep our health system moving forward.
At the bustling St. Louis Hall wing of the Centre Hospitalier de l'Université de Montréal, a quiet hum of equipment fills the early morning. Surgeon Dr. Émilie Boussachar steadies a high-definition camera above an operating table, while a group of medical residents, some seated in the adjoining lecture room and others joining from a downtown clinic, watch the intricate eye surgery unfold in real time. The room glows with the soft blue of the monitor, and the delicate dance of the surgical microscope reveals the tiny structures of the eye as if magnified for every eye in the city. In the control center, a trainee named Maya leans forward, her breath caught as the surgeon delicately removes a cataract-laden lens, replacing it with a clear artificial one. When the surgeon lifts the patient's eyelid for the first time after the procedure, a collective sigh of relief rises, and Maya's smile spreads across the screen, a reminder that knowledge shared can restore sight. It's moments like these that show how a single livestream can turn a hospital corridor into a classroom, and a classroom into a promise for brighter tomorrows.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us this evening. It was inspiring to see the new transition housing open for women experiencing homelessness, a real step forward for our community. We appreciate your trust in the local Sunrise, and we'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter. Good night.